Hi, Ava. What everybody doesn't know right now is we have started this conversation about a minute ago, and all of the guys that were setting up the interview. Do you want to explain to what you walked into during the Zoom?
I walked into the cutest golden doodle multi-poo party. I mean, everyone had a freaking multi-poo golden doodle.
Three grown men in their little multi-poo golden doodle poos.
Multi-poo poo.
Well, first of all, it is nice
can't.
to meet you. I don't believe we've ever met before, so I'm excited to get to talk to you finally.
You too. I love your name with the K instead of a C. I like it.
Thank you, thank you. And I love your name because I love the Max part of your name. I think there's a lot of power in that name. And
I feel like a Max.
do you? Do you?
Yeah.
I feel like it fits you in reading about you. One of the things that stood out to me, and let me tell everybody quickly, obviously, Heaven and Hell, and then the huge song Kings and Queens is just unbelievable. It's my favorite song that's out right now. It is a spectacular song. But in reading about you and going back to your youth, you had a plan. And it didn't matter what anybody else said or did, that you started very young. You were going to auditions and competitions, and you knew pretty early on, I think, what you wanted to do. Why do you think you're like that? Where does that drive come from?
Definitely my parents. It comes from my parents. They came to the States with no money. They didn't know the language, and they just like fought really hard for what they wanted, and they saved a lot of money. And they just, I mean, I remember going to the grocery store and they weren't even buying chips. They were just like saving all their money. And I'd be like in shock. Like they had so much determination and will. And I definitely couldn't do what they did with, they had a 7-year-old son, my brother, and me. And it was just like, I don't know how they did it. So seeing that, and then my dad, when I told him what I wanted to be, I'm like, I want to be a singer. I was like 8 years old. He's like, okay, well, if you can handle, he said, the competition and all that. And then I'm like, that's like one of the first things he told me. He's like, let's do these competitions and see if you can handle it and see if you're strong enough to do that. And so I won. I started winning them, and I was like, see, Dad? You know, so he was like, okay. And so they started supporting me. And also, like, I loved singing with my mom. My mom sang opera around the house. And I think I, you know, somehow got her voice and in a different way, but like we sound a lot alike. So I don't know if it's genetic, but it runs in the family.
I think obviously you're paying them back with your love and admiration and how you share the stories of what they did for you. But did you ever, have you done anything like something, you know, just like some lavish gift as a thank you to say, you know, I appreciate your struggles, and while I didn't have to go through what you went through, you know, immigrating to America and everything like that, but I want to give you this thing just as kind of a little token. Was there something when the money started to come in that you were like, here you go, this is cool?
I mean, definitely a car, but also it's like, it's more than that. Like I always like, you know, I always treat them to massages, and I'm always like wanting them to relax, but they're workaholics. They're always wanting to work. They're always doing something. I have to like make them go to a massage. I'm like, no, you're going to relax and breathe, maybe go for a swim. And so they're like, what's that? What's relaxing? I'm like, no. Like I like have to force them to relax.
So I feel like maybe the pandemic, has that forced you to do the same thing? Because like I said, you just grind is the word that keeps coming to mind when I think about your career. So now here we are, you've spent all this time working on the debut album, and then the pandemic hits, and you're probably used to going 100 miles an hour. Did you take that advice? Did you slow down?
I've been restless, but in like I've had to deal with anxiety because, you know, I'm used to going, like you said, 100 miles per hour. And so the pandemic has been really hard on me. It's been tough to just relax. Like, oh, I should do nothing right now. But it's like, I can't. So I'm basically like, I'm always going for a drive. I'm always walking outside. I'm always doing something to stay active so I can at least be tired to sleep at night.
Right.
Because I feel like if I'm not tired at night, I will stay up till like 5 in the morning. I'm like that.
During the pandemic, I've seen on the news, they talked about, you know, there are websites out there that have tools for people that are, you know, having a tough time with their mental health. And they say this year the hits are up like almost 1,000%. But people are just looking for different ways to cope.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're probably experiencing the same thing I'm experiencing, that we're all experiencing, that, you know, just like, wow, when can we get back to some sort of, you know, like you being out on the road is, you know, what you've been doing for so long. I know you want to do that.
It's been wild. I mean, obviously I love spending time with my family. That's been great. Cause when I was on tour, I was like, I just want to spend time with my mom, like her dad, you know, like, so it's nice to see them a lot.
Right.
And it sometimes feels like the walls are closing in, you know, on me. And I feel like everyone feels like that. And so it's important. I think reading is super important. I think it, you know, just like the body, we need to exercise our minds, you know, and I think people forget that literally reading is to exercise your mind. It's like an exercise. So I think that crossword puzzles, like I'm trying to do more of that, because I think if we make our brain stronger, we'll be happier. And I really believe that.
Oh, crossword puzzles crush me. My wife does them all the time, and I try and steal hers and do some of them, and I like 2 minutes and I'm over it.
It's hard. It's hard. On a plane, it was easier.
Very hard. So let me ask you this: with Heaven and Hell, I was doing a little research, and I went back, and it looks to me like in 2017, September 22nd, you made a post, looked like a black and white portrait. In fact, very similar to kind of what you look like right now. I don't know if there was a beret or not.
It's funny. I just put this beret on since 2 years ago. Actually, I hadn't put a beret on. So.
And then you wrote the caption for this photo from 2017 was Heaven and Hell.
Oh my God, yes. And I don't know how, because I decided that title a year and a half ago. Isn't that crazy?
So that was just
Kismet.
how you were feeling that day. That wasn't some like Taylor Swift type, I'm going to be naming my album this in 3 years and I hope you catch it.
No,
Oh, wow.
it was like, I don't know what that was. I actually found that, recently. And I was just like, whoa. I kind of knew what the title was going to be in a way.
Isn't that wild? That's not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences.
It's not, you're right. It's something, I don't know what it is. It has to be meant to be, right? Because like, again, I was going through so many different album titles, and like then when that one got in my head, like I was on the way to the VMAs actually to perform, and I was in New York, and I was like, oh my God, I had like an epiphany. I was like, it needs to be called Heaven and Hell. The dualities. I was like, we're made up of dualities. You know, our life is literally heaven and hell. When something good happens, something bad happens. It's like, like my album got released on September 18th, and then my grandpa passed away September 21st. So for me, it's like, it happened to me right when my album came out. So like, I was like so happy, and then I was so sad. And like, it's just life. It's what we go through. And
well, I'm sorry about your grandpa. What did you call him? We called my grandpa Pop. What was your grandpa?
Well, it's Albanian. He's Albanian. He was Albanian. So Jushi.
Jushi?
Jushi. Yeah, you said it right. It's Albanian. In Albanian, we call grandpas Jushi.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So let's. I know we just met, and we probably shouldn't discuss politics, but obviously, what's happening in the world right now, there's a lot of I think energy.
Energy.
I think it's energy, and I think obviously there's some animosity, and there's a lot of people on both sides. But I also just love seeing the numbers of people that are getting out there and voting. How important is that to you?
It's so important. And again, as my parents, they were immigrants, and now they're American citizens, so they're very, very proud to vote. So they always encourage me to vote. And so like my dad is like, he's proud, to be an American citizen, even though he's originally Albanian too. He's always like, go out and vote. So ever since I was younger, I would hear that. It's our duty as an American. We have a voice, we can write, we can put what we want. Isn't that amazing? If you think about it, we get to decide. It's kind of crazy.
Did your dad early vote? Did he like send you the picture with the sticker or anything? Has he done that yet? Or is he gonna
We're going together. Yeah, we're going to go together. And my managers and I are going to go together. We're going to go like all together.
I love that. We do that. My wife and I, we have a 9-year-old son. And every time we take the selfie, we give him the sticker. We want him to, same thing. We want him to understand how important it is. I read that you're a big fan of Mariah Carey. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And I also know there is now a Christmas song. So the Christmas song is called Christmas Without You. Christmas
Yeah.
Without You. So were you channeling your inner Mariah Carey? Obviously, she has arguably the greatest, most successful Christmas song of all time.
I love Mariah, but it's funny. This song actually happened randomly with Gian Stone Circuit, the executive producer of my album, and
Right.
Sam Martin, incredible songwriters. We worked on it together, and it was like in 2 weeks it was done. We thought we were going to release it next year, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, but it happened so quickly that we're like, let's put it out right now. Like, we literally couldn't wait. So next year, maybe a music video.
That's fantastic. I saw some numbers on Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas," and it is that's her biggest song. I mean,
It's a classic. Every time it comes on, I'm like, all I want for Christmas. It's like, it literally makes you feel like you are Christmas. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, so I have our Bella Insurance fan question. This is from Nolan.P_07. I think this was on Instagram. And Nolan said, this is a tough one. Sometimes they're softballs, and I'm just going to be honest with you. This is a big question. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear.
Or we can make it simple, and because it's Halloween, it could be something scary.
No, I mean, biggest fear. I have a lot. I have a lot of biggest fears. I hate elevators. I don't like them. I have a fear every time I'm like, my heart, like, I feel like it's like I feel like choking, dying. Like
Claustrophobic, right?
Claustrophobic. I feel like it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like vomiting. Like, so I can't do elevators, even though I still do them. But then I have to like really squeeze the person's hand next to me, and like I scratch their hand, and they're like, ah, you know, they're like screaming, but I'm like, just bear with me. Anyway, so elevators.
My wife is afraid of them as well, and she'll go stand right at she wants to be at the door, so the second it opens, she can like.
Yeah. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. So I will just say elevators. Yeah.
Okay, that is good. I think, man, we went through almost everything. One other question for you. I noticed on this album, you got to work with a dear friend of ours who we love to death. I think is, to me, one of the most talented young musicians in the business, a singer, a songwriter. He went to school here in Boston, Charlie Puth.
Oh, yes, Charlie.
Yes. Charles, yes.
Charles.
We love Charles. So how did you work with Charlie? Were you doing we know he loves to do the voice notes. Were you text messaging, or did you get to hang out together? How did that happen?
Yeah, he sent a voice note because the song was pretty much done. Tattoo was done. I originally called it Black Shoes in Sweden. When I first wrote it, I was like, I wear my black shoes, I don't take them off. So it started becoming Tattoo.
Right. So you had the melody, right?
Yeah, with a songwriter named Jay Cash. We got in and we finished the lyrics. But then it was done. But then Charlie heard it. And because we're all friends, and he sends a voice note for the verse. He's like, I think the verse should go differently. And so he sent a new verse. And I was like, wait, I like this melody. So we all got in and finished the lyrics of that melody. So he really brought that verse to life. It was different before. And actually, I don't even remember how the verse was before. But so that was amazing. But he did send a voice note. I know his sister, Michaela Puth, too. She's very sweet. They're awesome.
Yeah, really nice people. Do you have tattoos?
No.
No.
I don't. But because the problem is with me is if I'm all or nothing. If I get a tattoo, I want like a sleeve, like, you know, and my dad would probably rip it off my sleeve. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Paul. No, but my dad, like, bye. No, but you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather get a sleeve instead of one, if that makes sense.
I got a pandemic. I don't know if you had a pandemic tattoo.
Oh my God, you got a pandemic puppy, a pandemic tattoo. What is that?
No, it's the Hebrew word for hesed, which means it's great, like showing grace or benevolence. It's something that. So my mother's Catholic, but my father's Jewish, and so I have a lot of, you know.
You have a good mix.
I'll have a lot going on there, and so hesed is like. You know, sometimes I don't show a lot of compassion. And so this is actually facing me. So it's just like reminding myself, like, don't be so quick to judge. You know,
Yeah.
it's more
I
about
like that. You
Yeah.
know, that's a good thing. I feel like something, what am I missing? Everything? No, just kidding. I like get everything wrong. My laughter scared you. I'm sorry. I'm a psychopath. I'm sorry.
No. I think
What's his name?
his name is Cisco. It's
Cisco.
named after a beach and a beer here in Massachusetts.
So cute. He looks like Sammy's dog, right?
Yeah, he's like a little. We think he looks like Paddington.
I mean, he's just so cute. I mean, how could you not kiss his cheeks every day? Like,
I know. All right. Well, heaven and hell. We are so excited, kings and queens. It is wonderful to meet you, and I know we're going to have you in Boston soon for a show as soon as that happens, and we'll get to talk again.
Thank you. I cannot wait. I love Boston. I want to be in the snow right now. It's too hot in LA.
Oh, hush your mouth. No snow. No.
I love
I'm trying to enjoy fall. Let me enjoy my fall. All right. Well, thank you, Ava. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.